got a clue. Cause you said I can't be with you. I ain't got a clue. I ain't got a clue now. I don't know what to do now. Let me feel like I'm Drew Hill. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm Drew down. From the west side, west coast. From the left side, you know how death go. You be looking like a left soul, left up in the hole. I'm trying to get you out, but I be flipping out in my fucking mind, and the fucking sky ain't got a clue. Cause you said I can't be with you, and now you acting like a fucking fool. Right now, I'm on the flight now, and I'ma come back, right back, man. Quit giving me crap there, I ain't got a clue. Cause you said I can't be with you, can't be with you, got a clue. Cause you said I can't be with you. The Pilotman flew, and that wasn't something I can choose. Nah, I ain't choose, I just do. But my mind's still something I can lose. But I ain't got a clue. Cause you told me to be with you, can't be with you, got a clue. Cause you told me I can't be with you. Had hair in my mouth, got a clue. Cause you said I can't be with you, can't be with you. I ain't got a clue. Cause I said I ain't got no clue. Yeah.
I'm hip hop. I'm hip hop. My freestyle sound better than y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I could put out a song I made 12 years ago. They'd be like, yo, Dolo, HAEL'HO, when you make this? When you made this last week? Psst, made that 12 years ago. Where you at? Where you at? Where y'all at? Where y'all musicians at? Where y'all philosophers at? Where y'all goddamn war philosophical brains at? I think I'm the North American Indian goddamn version of Michael Jackson over here. Michael Jackson ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Got Thomas Jefferson over here. She wrote down scams for y'all and stuff like that. You'll never get your land back. And got Genghis Khan. You'll always remember his work, especially if you're reading the Genghis Khan book and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Real. And after that, the end. You get the 4 types. You get the 4 skull types to get you with the right knowledge. The 4 skull types. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Michael Jackson was a voodoo doll. Ain't no telling what skull type. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little piece here. You know what I'm saying? A little A-rap here. You know what I'm saying? A little nigga here. You know what I'm saying? 35% white man here. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. A little Asian man. All right there. You get mixed splicing Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He ain't know what size he want his nose to be. He ain't know what skin color he want his skin. I seen the Pepsi commercial of Bertha's head. I seen all that stuff like that. The nigga with the Jerry curl and the perm. Sad, so I don't really go no further than that and this diggity thing. It's a shame. But like I said, North American Indian, damn Michael Jackson, the Thomas Jefferson, and Genghis Khan. Which y'all want to know new? Now look, check this out. It ain't what you learn, it's how you learn. So that's a lot of times what y'all don't be understanding. It ain't what you learn, it's how you learn. You fight intellect against intellect, not intellect for intellect. When you fight intellect for intellect, for the most part, you might be misplaced on the starting point of that intellect. When you fight intellect against intellect, you're able to use the substantiated point of reference, what we're calling intellect, or experiencing some form of deciphering something. And then for the most part, you get to challenge that and go to something better or go to some lore, but stay in that equilibrium position. And now you're just looking at it like a pocket or however the case may be. So it's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, it starts on the original basis of intent. So you might learn math, but what is the reason why you got to learn math? That's always more important. You might know science, but what is the reason you got to know science? That's always more important. You know what I'm saying? You might got a job, but what is the reason that you got the job? That's always more important. Right? So think about the things that it ain't got that intent behind it, but something might be on a Walt Disney commercial to make you think is important. Think about your spiritual thought and feeling you condense that become adrenaline and motivation. And think about the percentage scale of it. It'd be real low. It'd be real low. It'd be anything, and it got that actual meaning behind the sign. That actual meaning behind, like a lot of times, but like the sign, they got to have dollar signs behind it. It got to have some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That college person name sign, you got to have that degree behind it that you want to do. You know, it got to have something, that thing behind it, the intent. And then the intent been then physical too first. Or if you don't even see the intent and the physical representation, you don't even see yourself even going for that job. You don't even see yourself even going for that relationship. You don't see, but I'm trying to get y'all on the first way of seeing. I'm the only seer. Walk on eggshells when you're on this damn channel and you're just talking out of your mind. Especially you motherfucking black and white folks that like to get together and scheme and then fight over the thing y'all just fought over or something like that. And you black folks always get the short end of the stick, and you white folks always over exaggerate and go too far when you get the bigger end of the stick. Then we all just gotta wave y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean y'all mind. You know what I'm saying? That little 25% native freedman. Freedman came after the white man, so it's mixed with percentage scales of white man. I'm in y'all mind. I'm in y'all skull. I see the pieces. I know how to make something micro broad. I know I take that little 25% little black man, white man, you know what I'm saying? Probably got Arab in it somewhere and shit, so I probably know a little bit about the Moors than they do. Then I go ahead and whitewash it with the goddamn the real white man in the sky, the Native American. When we talking about the stuff, the 75% go ahead and wash all that away and transmute it. Y'all ain't even gonna be able to speak English the way y'all want to anymore. You know, further than that, I'm in your head. I'm in y'all mind. I know y'all wit. I know y'all science. I got y'all archetype. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all rundown. I got y'all zodiac. I got y'all natal charts. I got y'all program. I got it. Ooh, what's this esoteric website? Oh, what's this esoteric website? Oh, shit. I love going to the sarcastic website. The lost and forgotten. I got too many scratches on my back from websites. It's all y'all got cold websites sometimes that y'all be lost in just that word. I go back to my world though. My world means more. Then I go to that little 25% where y'all be only using 3% of y'all brains at and stuff like that. I mean, only y'all though and stuff like that. I go to these websites. I go, you know what I'm saying? I go to the Plutography website and stuff like that. I'm like, what's this? How they do this? What this mean? What this mean? You know what I'm saying? I start to give me the rundown and stuff like, okay, tuxedo. This means spirit already giving life to death. They still alive though. They making money off debt right now. I'm like, oh shit, y'all can't go to that Google. Y'all don't know how to go to that Google. That's a whole different Google for y'all. Real shit. That's a whole different Google. I'm telling you, that's a whole different thing. Whole different Yahoo. Y'all ain't never been to that one and shit like that. I'll be trying to put y'all there, though. Y'all don't want to go to that one. Y'all always want to go to this one first. Is Dolo talking right? You know what I'm saying? Here, Uriel. Here, Uriel. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what Uriel actually mean. You got to go to the esoteric Google. What this mean? Oh, transmuted through Venus. What this mean? Just the sun being in the Western Hemisphere. The period. Oh, what this mean? Oh, just the land of the goddamn the animals and shit, the goddamn creatures and swine. What this? They was all about love though. Boom, that's it. They God is love. They God might be a woman. That hoe. And that's it. And that's it. Y'all go to that Google. Y'all can't go to that Google. Y'all be going to Christian books and so now you know why the Uriel angel is hitting from Michael, Raphael, Michelle, Michelle, Raquel, Michelle, Raquel, Gabrielle, now you know why they don't even want to get on a star and make a J. Let her make a J. Raphael, Gabrielle, then they make a hook to Michael. They want to leave me out. They want to leave Uriel out. They want to leave the Native Americans out. That's the only way you're going to see the Raven, West Side, Fall Time, Scorpios, Scorpions, and stuff like that being controlled by the Archer, Sagittarius constellation, bitch. You ain't gonna see those things actually in the sky. In the Western Hemisphere, you might get hit with a bow and arrow. You might get bit by a snake or something. Oh, I'm saying Scorpio. You might see a Raven, flying around and shit like that, or vulture or something, when some dead ass motherfucker around, they just still walking. I don't know how their heart still be beating and shit like that. I don't know how their brain still be pumping fluid through it and stuff like that. They we walking dead though. Good show, good show. The first one. And once y'all got to the other ones, just like Empire. Once y'all got to too much fruity shit, I'm out. I'm out. It's your boy GJ Academics. I'm out. It's your boy GJ Academics. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a whole lot of frequencies. We float in the astral world and stuff like that. Hey. I ain't see Thomas Jefferson where I was at. I didn't see George Washington where I was at. Yeah, I give y'all some game though where George Washington was trying to go. I'm gonna help y'all build a few more railroad tracks and shit. Y'all gonna need some more mental slaves though to get there though and shit like that. Hey, find your pickings right now. I'm gonna give you the directions though. You're gonna need help. Everybody need help. I be need help to build DNA strands and shit like that to get to other places and stuff like that. I'll just show y'all how to get there though. You need another railroad track. Then it's gonna manifest in the reality as y'all gonna get interested in railroad tracks again. I got something different than the ability of travel, because we know we could travel faster to other things. There's gonna be other stuff with it and stuff. Whether y'all start putting flat screens on the New York City subways or something, it's gonna be something that get y'all more. I'm telling y'all, the spirit be floating around. The spirit is unique for everybody. The spirit be unique. It help other people make more money. It help other people give new creative ideas, all kind of shit. That next, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it teaches people how to scheme too. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? And you go search for your pot of fortune. I don't know other than that. Search for your pot of fortune. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just all about jumping in that spaceship and flying all around. But you gotta know what it is. When you don't know what these things is, you be doing these things anyway. That's why I always tell y'all lost in the English terminology and the meanings behind it. So yeah, we could use these terms, but if you already in calling this challenging, capitalizing energy, black, white, capitalizing, colonizing, white, capitalizing, black, and then y'all just in those energies, and for the most part, you're gonna be challenging something first, doing the same thing with your challenging. We can just make it as simple as this. Everybody got the ability to think with their brain, right? So you're challenging someone else's thought, but what do you got to do to challenge somebody else's thought? Think. So instead of you elaborating, you utilize ways to try to take someone else's thought with your thought so it can transmute as an action. And if you ain't got that thought to produce your own action, you ain't building your own fruit internally. But your intent got you so lost into a filter of glasses that it's the wrong intent. You think you're doing something wrong for the right thing, just your bias or whatever the case. And you might need a lot of help, which is why cults exist, for those things to take place. But at the first, you need to know these things in the astral world before you start claiming you in the astral world. Because when I be going there, I don't see George Washington. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need my ancestors to come. I am them. So I don't need my ancestors to come back and be like, man, that punk ass George Washington running around, that was these cats made it. I ain't need my ancestors actually. I am them. So it's like, yo, what, you lying? When I come back, it's just, oh, you lying. I don't have to learn off Google. And so y'all learn, I don't get none of my knowledge off Google, none of my history off Google or anything of that nature and stuff like that. Y'all, if I get on Google, it's just me seeing what's wrong. And then I might come up here and tell y'all that's wrong. That's pretty much it. I'm a walking emerald tablet. I gotta use the bathroom. Yeah, it goes for everything. Business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. If we talk about entertainment and it comes to music, it's about beyond music. It can be anything. Politics, business, or whatever. It's about understanding the intent of something. You know how something is calculated first before you start to orchestrate it and involve yourself with it. So when you understand the intent, you're understanding the cloud pocket. The cloud pocket that condensed became rain and earth matter, and for other people to have that idea to work as a communion to build it up, for it to have a building to be in or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Wing Wam or however you want to connect it, right? That's how we even created the name TP.
right, based upon the meaning behind it, and taking the sky lodge or the sky 3 point and bringing it down here as creating the idea to have a shelter. That's what the name Haudenosaunee actually mean. It don't mean a race or a blood. It just means a group of people who was practicing a similar practice. So those practices is creating the longhouses, if you want to call it in English. But those people were Native Americans and things of that nature. But the title is just what you call when people doing certain things. It's just as good as saying, oh, those are construction workers. What do that consist of? People who work on construction. Oh, that's a basketball player. What do that consist of? People who play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at it within that aspect before you get lost. And then you start getting into lookership, getting into Christopher Columbus knowledge, getting into some other type of aspect, and then you fail to realize what you even looking at to even know what's real or not, and then you just somewhere trying to cry for respiration or some shit like that, and using other people's fight and destruction and survival tactics and things of that nature, such as guerrilla warfare. But this is not about that. This is about helping people understand what actually time traveling is before you hear things from actual people that may speak these things, and I'm gonna give you an aspect, right, and how things could be taken like Marty McFly, or for the most part, going back to the future movie and shit like that. So you know, for the most part, if you in the physical, it's not meant for that aspect. It's in the intent. It's in the internal first, beyond the bias and the baggage that term internal has, that you may see it through the lens of English and the meaning, right? So when you're time traveling, we all can do that. That's like a memory and going into a past, but developing the neurons and the neurons and the nuance built the neurons, and that develops an intent. So you have the right starting point. So whatever current and future situation that you're going to, water, past, current, earth, future, fire, you're able to consist all through the past, present, and future with that air. And your air is your thought, your cloud, your micro breath, your micro condensing before it comes to the heavier versions of your blood and the fluid and things of that nature, right? So you're able to understand many different bodies that you had, many different mentalities you could jump in, and the memory are dead forms. So when you go back into a memory, you give another thought and a feeling inside of it, imagination, and then you give it life. But if it's something that don't match the synchronized and relatable energy of your current mind state, then you can't add it. And if you get stuck into it, then you're going to be stuck in something that goes into the opposite direction. So you're going against the flow. You're resisting against the flow. So instead of you doing something now in the current to develop a better future, you're stuck in the past about something because you got cheated on. And now you're not willing to expand and get into another relationship. But you're not even in that current relationship anymore. But you want to play some tit for tat energy to get this person to feel like they made you feel because they cheated on you, or however the case may be. So this is getting you in behind or going in resistance into your expansion. This person actually helped you, didn't hurt you. You just weren't able to see it that way. So you developed your own thoughts and feelings around it of the hurt that this person gave you, and they gave you their good feelings, and now you want to take their good feelings that they had that in opposite to you hurted you. And then now you're in a situation where you're playing tit for tat, where you could have gotten that same situation as that person, and you would have seen that they would have been playing a game that you ain't, so they would have been more damaged than you, and you would have ended up being in a better relationship than them. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, y'all waste y'all time on Facebook looking at y'all ex, thinking something gonna change because you hit that bitch with the laser or something. You know what I'm saying? Yo, focus. That's what the laser is and shit like that. That's what you mean on Superman and shit. So when you know about the time travel, right? Physically, you know your body ain't gonna go back to your same body that you was in previously in the past. So it's no such thing as creating a physical time travel unless you think like a white boy and all the black people around them that work together as a communion. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking from somebody else's culture and then trying to get money off of it, and then actually think you can really do these things. So white and black people be the most cosplayers in existence and things of that nature. And then you will ask them, they're not cosplaying, they'll say you cosplaying, and then you'll be like, all right, then what's the culture then? Why ain't you teaching the culture? Why you're teaching about it? Just like Mormons, why you're teaching all about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you start hearing people say Master Metaconetons and Autocontenatons and even Thomas Jeffersons and Manly P. Halls and stuff like that. It's just people who worship other men that stole people's culture and figured out a way to capitalize off of it. But when you understand that intent, you don't have to go through the rabbit hole. And then if you do go through a rabbit hole, you don't have to follow the money and the history. You can follow the practice, and you'll be like, oh, this is a practice somebody doing, and then they probably ain't doing this sufficiently. They're just figuring out new ways to make money off of it, and put themselves in a position where they ain't got to get hit upside the head with a bow and arrow or whoever had the weapon at the time from the culture that they took, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to, it's always trying to get the upper hand based upon where you and your lineage got destroyed on previously. So even if you see white people doing extremes, colonization and slavery, you could tell they got that from whatever Genghis Khan did, got hit upside the head, and however us Native Americans was treating them when it was introduced to our form of slavery. And then they didn't like our form of it being a different kind, but how we did it amongst our own people wasn't necessarily negative. So when they take something that's not theirs, it get perverted. And then when you got people right, left, people who come after them, that's more of them. This is where you get black people into capitalizing off of what was just colonized. And this the kind of psyche at certain black and white, not all black and white people. I love all black and white people. I'm just talking about those ones that know how to come together. So they come together to do psyops on other people. For an example, you can see this type of white community. So a lot of times, a large portion of them went to college and the military. So they got taught how to do this. So a lot of times, this is the people who replace all of us online as real people. They probably in all of our chats. You know what I'm saying? But for the most, and then argue with each other. But they all got some cold talk, how they come together as white and black people, right? And then for the most part, you could kind of see how they work together as a team. They give each other platforms to psyop other people's culture. But everybody else's culture is able to sit back and see these people running off 5 different programs and cultures and stuff. So for an example, right? Let's say you see a black person that's in a cult. That's like FBA or Minister Fluis Heritons and stuff. As soon as they start mentioning people or there was a celebrity or something, right? So they running off like 5 different cultures and shit like that. They're indigenous, but don't speak the language or don't speak the culture, right? None of that. So I don't even know who they talk about. Then they claim they mix. Then for the most part, claiming one culture, wearing clothes and practicing the mentality of another culture, pilgrim culture. So they claiming they're indigenous, but then disrespect indigenous culture by wearing a tuxedo. Then wear the tuxedo and start speaking these type of politics games, these mental games that you had to learn from the military, where you steal other people's culture and capitalize off of it in every kind of way to try to play people's gods. And then y'all create and then they create things where they fight with each other to make it seem like everybody else that they stole shit from is involved in it. So that's how you look at confusion. You know what I'm saying? They start talking about voodoo and all type of stuff. Same way with like some of the Jews and stuff like that. The bucket hat, the Shirley temples on the sideburns and stuff like that. That's just, oh, we took the power of the Native American and we're doing this with other stuff we took powers from in Africa and India and stuff like that. And it's people using mind games to play God, like mind games got something to do with God. So this is why nothing leads to reality, but everybody in these type of things need you to think what they're doing is reality. So they talk warriors, they talk about culture, talk about things, don't do it. They don't practice no culture, they practice genocide or taking somebody else's shit. They talk about coming together, they never come together. They talk about everybody's problems except their own. And then they talk about why everybody need to help people. They don't help nobody. Black people don't help nobody. And white people don't help nobody. But somehow they created an argument like the world don't help nobody. But they're the only ones helping each other. We only see white people supporting black people platforms. And we only see black people getting funded by white people to somehow seem like they're in a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you get somebody like my channel getting this much hate, like unwarranted hate. Then even when I defend myself, it's in they're in an ego, so they throw it on me and other ethnicities. So you will see them start hating on Mexicans now, hating on Somalians. It's like they're doing psyops. Black and white people come together and do psyops. So there's going to be a Somalian psyop, a Native American psyop, but it's only coming from white people and black people that don't got no culture. Now, those who got a culture, they stay the fuck out the way. Like the Amish people, the true Jews, like kind of like even Vlad a little bit. That's why I respect Vlad. I understand the game because I got indigenous, so I understand the game on father and a land level. So mentally, it ain't even about a land. It's just about when you created something, you still the intellectual property owner of it. These new version white people and black and this new version black people not in that position. So they're just running on autopilots of things that work for them and stuff like that. They don't know where nothing came from, or they don't know what things are, so they don't even know how to use it. So they're using one thing to help the other. They'll use some Hindu shit to help the Christian shit. They'll use some Christian shit to help the African shit. And then they start claiming they all these things like Moors. And black people sometimes look a little bit more crazier than white people. White people know how to use a little bit more wit and a little bit more logical references to blind allow a little bit. And that could become a talent on its own. So if you want to make a culture, you can. When black people piggyback of it, you're actually doing white people culture. But then when you do it, you have to get argued with. And if we was to argue with you, we have to make white people part of the conversation. And then if we do, we have to decipher how white people don't have a culture, because this is what you're using when you say you have one. You see what I'm saying? And then it gets tricky, but then we have to get out of the conversation because it's really just a white and black person thing and a military thing that they constructed by stealing other people's culture. So this is why we're never able to be involved. So I could be, me personally, I could be better than all these people. I'm never going to get platformed though for it. I'm actually going to get more hate for something that they're trying to do. So that's how all ethnicities, especially if you mixed, right? You already like that's why I always mention Taino, the real Tainos, not none of y'all in the cult, but the real ones. They didn't left Hebrews and all that stuff, Hebrew originalisms and stuff, because they start to realize, man, I'm around this nigga, and I got to be more of a nigga than this cat. And it's almost like if I'm starting to get more things going in our real life, this person know I get way more bitches. They know I'm way more smarter than them. The shit that I'm putting them on the scriptures. How come every time we on the corner, I'm the one always got to holler when they say something, and then they get to teach after I say the scripture and holler, read John 16. I love it. And then I got to go home and feel salty or something like that, where I gave this cat the concept of him even reading that scripture because he reading some scripture that just got something to do with his damn auntie being a drunk. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like shit like that. We be having different points of views and shit. Motherfuckers will take that shit and do some other shit with it, and then they'll make you them when it's convenient. You ain't the Taino no more. You straight black. You the nigga. You be straight white. No, it's straight. You there find some scripture in it to make it convenient that you black when it's time for y'all to be on the corner, and you holler in the scriptures, and then they get to like teach it calmly or whatever the case may be. But they tell you, but then you ain't it now when it's all time, and they start saying you fucking more bitches and shit like that. Now you the one with the white man in you now. You see what I'm saying? You the one from Siberia now. You the one with Asian man. You the one who came second now. You the one who ain't had your language. You know what I'm saying? You the one. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do. That's how they do though. You gotta watch these motherfuckers. It's like a military tactic, even if they not in it. I call it white boy tactics. But that even if they not in it, they cold with it to themselves. So they had to learn code words. So they use animism and stuff like that. But I mean, it ain't nothing really like these people don't. I mean, some do mean harm, but they don't. They really just be trying to learn. And if you can attack it in a mental concept, you'll have them look at their mental concept before it's the extreme negative actions in a better light. Because that's all we here to really do. You know what I'm saying? So it helps all of us get rid of any dirt we have in our own way without the people we may take abuse of, like our family, friends, associates, co-workers, and strangers, how we got it on now, and still know that there's a way of cleansing. And it's not always happen to be personal. God is a personal God. But if you don't know how to find that water, your personality sucks. Your personality is away from it. That's why I told homegirl, these are many pockets in reality of spirits that did these things before you was here. And your parents had a multitude of these star pockets that probably didn't do it right. And you got a more diluted version of it. But she said she wasn't open and welcome. So, I mean, she said she wasn't experiencing that in her life. So you're experiencing the opposite of what you are. So that's why I asked her, is you a welcoming person? And she said, yeah. So whatever spirit you around taught you how to be welcoming. Of course, you're going to attract demons that's not welcoming and then act like they're welcoming. So there is some take energy. You're supposed to be there in that pocket like I taught you, but like how the real spirits and the medicine man and medicine woman supposed to teach you, and the great spirits, that when you stay and learn your world more, you'll be able to see other people who ain't in that world So they're out to get what we all created in this world as a team. They just got small percentage scales of the things that we all have in a necessity. So you're more of a creator, they're more of a creation. So you know what you are attracting. So you know how you're supposed to defend yourself too, but also be the teacher, not the one that they drag you in the hell that they in, and you fighting the wrong fire with individuals who ain't even fighting with fire. They got some technology and actual fire. So they think they doing things in the physical. They only make their own fire feel worse. Their own fire look stupid and have to cope with themselves to make themselves like they ain't did something wrong. But that's just a form of hell. But at the same time, you're supposed to stay in that pocket and be like, I'm welcoming. So people who are not welcoming, I'm going to teach them how to be welcoming. And this is what you was trying to take, and you can't take it. This is mine. Learn how to build that fruit for yourself, so you will go be welcoming. Then you'll know how I feel when you was unwelcoming, fucking when welcoming motherfuckers and shit like that. And I guarantee YAHLHO, God will put a lot of welcoming people in your life. And then your testimony is something that you can triple loop down into the world and start to be a teacher, and everybody teach, and it'll be 1,000 million billion people who went through the same or similar background than you, and you could put the piece to piece together, two and two together, of all those DNA strands from the clouds to all y'all minds to y'all brains down here, and now you got a sufficient pocket in reality, and now you can start building your back pockety energy down here, and that's how YAHLHO bless people. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never be less, but you are being a spirit, getting a greater form that you're lesser than. So you're walking around in lesser forms amongst you with some greater ability that you're supposed to be sharing in that bitch. Fuck the hate. They gonna love the hate. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. And that's all your job is here to do. That's spirit. Spirit ain't a form. It's your spirit being you and going somewhere, and you plucking the right fruit, doing the right esoteric landscaping and farming. So what you bringing down here is some shit that motherfuckers don't know the location. They don't know the esoteric GPS. They don't know the location to get there. You come here and you're supposed to show somebody how to fly their spaceship. Your spaceship is your cloud. It's just a lot of y'all got fart clouds because you don't know that's your mind, and you breathing it in, and your spirit is in this space. And every time you emit a thought, you emit more of your own air to interact and compare and contrast with the holy air. All of our thoughts together to implode. So the atmosphere is just a collection of fire, water, air, and earth. That's taking different forms of it and shit. So the atmosphere implodes and makes the sun. The sun implodes and makes all the clouds. The clouds implode and make all the air. It's just lesser forms of water, cloud. And then that all implodes and be all the seeds that become earth material and dirt, and the seeds that grow and stuff like that. So we're looking at implosion. Space ain't out there. Our thoughts all together implode. Teamwork makes the dream work. Atmosphere. And then it implodes and become different forms of the environment, to the lighter to the heavier. The sun, moon, the clouds, the thin layer to the heavier layer. And that's life. There's no other life. You have to understand that. And then we're rotating to the left, unless somebody's trying to make money for all this other lostness and all these TV shows and all these movies and stuff like that. God didn't tell y'all that. God didn't tell y'all the sun came from the east somewhere and shit. You made the direction, and it just so happens east is where that emanation happens. Nobody told y'all it moved from the east. You know what I'm saying? But you're rotating on your landmass and your time zone, and you're rotating to the left. There is no other way to describe the moon phases and the sun always appear to be going to the right. But we're seeing the full reflection of the atmosphere when you're facing completely away in your time zone, when there's a full moon or a lunar eclipse, and you're facing completely towards what we call an east as the emanation. So it's just the first version of a cloud before you see it as white clouds. It's the cooled off version of the atmosphere condensing. It's always cooling off to sweet spots for you to get the micro versions, and now you got your DNA. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at and call the God mass, but not what y'all God is. It's not. We're seeing a transition, and we're praising that transition. We're not praising that as God, as a representation as you. Ye are gods. But what are we calling God when you get lost? You get lost in the title and what other cultures was pointing at. And I'm trying to show you what we're pointing at as far as the Native Americans. But you could be someone who just, you the cosplayer right now, and then, but let me ask you, what's your culture? Where's your origin stories and stuff? Is it even in sync with your people? Do you have people to speak for you, or is you just around a whole bunch of, for an example, like these new version of people, right? And then y'all don't even be mixed. On top of that, let alone having your immediate family, y'all don't have no representation around y'all. Y'all use some new psyop, my grandma. So even when y'all hear actual natives say my grandma, you get the wrong idea about it. And you think that's a way of people saying something or whatever the case may be. It doesn't even make no sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be doing it now. I don't get that. That's why it doesn't make sense to me when y'all make arguments and y'all start talking about stuff and things of that nature. And y'all dump y'all shit on me, and I don't even be knowing what y'all talking about. Y'all be like Google scholars or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Half of y'all Latinos got to learn Latin from somebody from Spain or European or something like that. Y'all be learning y'all languages from other people. Y'all be claiming y'all other people and don't be having the people that y'all even claiming around y'all, nor is you. And if you have a kid right now, that ain't gonna be the people. So it don't even make sense when y'all be running around with like 5 different cultures, and then y'all just be like dumping yourselves on everybody and shit. So they be looking weird and stuff like that. So that's what sometimes makes stuff obvious too, how y'all try to take over people's chats and stuff. Like, for an example, when y'all be highly disrespectful in my chat, y'all don't be convincing my family anything. Y'all damn sure don't be convincing no Native Americans anything. And y'all don't be convincing no freedmans. Not that part of my family, and nobody in the hood. Nobody online that's trying to get online and even doing and we all got some other think pocket trying to connect and things of that nature. Y'all online hating on people. So y'all whole military concept look weird to people and stuff like that, because it looked like y'all trying to set up narratives for what y'all think content creators is. Y'all just fucking with people family and people trying to do things or whatever amongst themselves. So that's what makes it look weird at times and stuff like that, because y'all be online and start showing yourselves and start expressing y'all lostness, and I be trying to understand who is y'all audience. And so I only know how to come to the conclusion like this. Y'all hear what I'm saying and think that I'm up here jumping on a table trying to entertain y'all. But there's people that's already know me, already got family or whatever the case may be. So if something weird to y'all, for an example, that's why I even post that video even 10 years ago, Three's Company. Where it's about, and you see me on the other side, it's the east and the west or whatever, right? So you got Tecumseh, the Flying Panther or whatever the case may be. Y'all like 10, 15 years late and dumping shit on people already doing something. And it's like y'all using psyops from every year. That's how I was able to see you in the Nature Boy shit, right? So what do you think on my mind? I'm Tecumseh. What do you think you hear? Flying Panther, rod growling. What do you, birds chirping and shit at night? The light coming down on Earth, waking up in a dream. Then all the street lights and shit like. What do you think on my mind when we're doing war cries and we're catching echoes? And I'm telling y'all that's what the beat mean and that's what the song mean. And you want to make sure you're making as many songs as possible. And music is about that. What are y'all mind on? Y'all just now started making Dane Calloway shits and stuff like that to do a psyop for black people. The stuff I'm doing, you think the cameraman, like I don't get it. Like, I'm trying to figure out y'all shit for a second. I'm already doing something like I don't care about y'all gods and y'all people and not y'all having lost cultures and stuff like that. That should get weird. You know what I'm saying? That should be weird. My name ain't DoelowDaPilotman for no reason. Like, I don't get it. We are the star people. Y'all are lost. Y'all are trying to do something or whatever the case may be. Y'all are trying to cosplay people too much or whatever. And just self-project that on other people or something like that. And then it gets weird. or whatever the case may be. Just like even my one video, right? Not to even start throwing things out, but even my one, because y'all lost in psyops, I'm lost in we just making it with people. I even got my one video, warship. What do you think I'm doing? What do you think we doing? Took Kumse and Tenswadawa. Northwest Territory. You see my outfit? You see his outfit? The fuck you think I'm doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are y'all at? Y'all like lost in a I don't know where y'all at, man. Y'all wow. Like every portion that y'all was doing, I taught about it and rapped about it and put it in my lyrics. But y'all never was learning. Like y'all never was even learning, like, or nothing like that. So you go 10, 15 years ago. We never thought different. You know what I'm saying? You hear us saying AI, you hear me saying AI, you hear me saying directly, like you hear it. Like I'm clear on what I'm doing. I don't see nothing different. It's just be like the new things y'all doing, the things y'all doing now that y'all was doing in the 1700s, but you ain't the main star player. When I say that, it's because you're going to the military or the college, so you don't know what you're being taught. So by you not knowing what you're being taught and how you look, that means you're not a main star player. You're just some new thing, a new species. I don't know how y'all ain't deep. I'm clear on what I'm saying. I'm clear on what I'm doing. I'm clear on what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Y'all ain't. So you look crazy when y'all pluck each day like you're paid to do it in a new way. So I have to tell you things like, all right, I'm about to produce another thing, and if y'all feed on it, this is how I'm seeing it. And you constantly do it year after year after year. And now I done made all y'all think y'all Native Americans. Y'all, that's all online right now. So shout out to us. Y'all see how we made it happen in the spiritual world? That's how we're powerful. Y'all not powerful. Y'all physical. So if you're going to scheme, we're going to feed. But we will make this native land again. To the point that you ain't going to have nothing else to do but take accountability. Because now it's going to be obvious. So you got to take accountability and start giving people their land back and stuff. It ain't no motherfucking Ohio reservation. And no shit like that. And everybody fucked up with the food and all this goddamn shit. And then when some good knowledge come around, it get hated on because we not practicing no black and white shit as a mental thing. You got people in India doing it right now. Arabs doing it. And y'all don't respect nothing. Y'all don't respect nothing real. Y'all think y'all the ones doing the test studies and stuff like that. But y'all need to study yourselves. Y'all something new. That's why you're in that position. So your whole starting point is, I need to figure out what ancients thought. You would never put yourself in a position of saying, I'm back, and just being your people. Even if you want to go back to the ancient people, it's many of them. Many people was unique. None of y'all want to be the unique of your people right now. That's y'all all over the place. Y'all don't even see it that way. Y'all don't even be seeing how crazy y'all look. How y'all don't want to be something now. Look at all y'all teachings online. Y'all all look crazy. Look at all y'all history books that y'all piggybacking off of. It all look crazy. Y'all all like a different version of Robert Greene. So you can't speak for yourself and your culture. You have to speak for what your forefathers did, that you're not even that anymore. And you're not unique yourself. So psychology gets stuck. The age of enlightenment gets stuck. Y'all getting stuck. But it ain't y'all getting stuck. Y'all don't have people saying I'm back. And y'all just the people saying I'm that. Something like the people y'all clinging on to or whatever the case may be. So y'all not updating anything. Y'all just doing what y'all think works. And just run into when it don't work and run into errors and then have to update it and stuff like that. So y'all in some type of infinite regress, no one knows energy. And who told you nobody know? Nobody told you that. Nobody told you we don't know what life is. Nobody told you that. Y'all told yourselves that. Y'all told yourselves everything for real. Y'all just be talking to yourselves. So y'all start self-projecting. Y'all try to create some type of shit online to try to make it seem like other people talking to themselves. But you just self-projecting. You made online to do that. You a person who do that, and you want other people to think they're doing that. But truly, other people not doing that. We're actually putting in effort. The things you're putting in effort in is counterproductive, because you could go out and try to train people's minds all you want. Your abilities don't stop bills. Your abilities don't build communion. You have a synthetic version of it. So it helps no one, not even yourself. And it probably destroyed your own family. Little do you know, y'all probably don't have no good relationships with y'all close people in y'all family. You see what I'm saying? And then y'all go trying to build cultures with strangers. That takes a synthetic connection. So y'all are family and friends because y'all went to the same college. Y'all are family and friends because it was in the same military. Y'all not, half of y'all family and friends don't even fuck with y'all that share y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not doing nothing for them. Y'all make excuses that they're not doing something like you. Some white and black militia that y'all started in like the late 1700s that black people is trying to always uphold and trying to praise and be more white boys than the white boys. It's only black people, it's only black and white people though that come together to destroy other people and destroy themselves though. And you can't even tell me I'm lying. It's a lot of prosecutors right now, police, and ain't nothing wrong with police officers and military and psyops and stuff like that. But just know you a person who you ain't got no culture. You picked one. You picked your demise. You know what I'm saying? You picked your family, your team, your culture. But do know it don't have anything to do with your actual family and y'all coming together to actually build the culture to actually find a God. So you don't have a God, you have to replace it, just like you don't have a culture, you have to replace it. And y'all God came from college and the military, and y'all culture came from college and the military. So that's all we have to know is what college you go to, and I can know your God. I know your whole rundown. I know your whole mental template. All I gotta know is all I gotta know is what police force you from, the exact city and state. I know your whole rundown. I know what Native American stuff y'all doing, and I know what other stuff was built on for y'all to be a well-oiled running machine business. So that's what it takes for it to keep running. Like I know the whole rundown. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to see the people, right? It's just the archetype that they're running off of. So it's a motherboard. You can make somebody feel guilty, exchange the mother chip of the motherboard program that they're running, and the very same thing that was making it run shut down and stuff like that. And then they would have to grasp for air, grasp for thought, grasp for new actions, right? And then anything that they was doing to survive, that old air is too toxic. They need that air, but it don't breathe the same. And so they start getting asthma, and then they feed. And then the best thing an animal could do is start to destroy physically a lot of times when they're in that position too. You know what I'm saying? But that's how God see it. But these people never come back. All these people never come back. There's never a form. Like when people be believing in heaven and hell now, and then let's say it's people in some energy where they think they negative and they don't care about it, right? These are the people making up the mind to never come back. Everybody that they're following never came back. So this is how you get the smalling up of a circumstance, the smalling up of a people, the smalling up of things, where the strength of it got lost in a new updated language, a new updated, and been used for monetary gain. So these people never come back and things of that nature. So it's not the word itself, it's the ones who willed it. So the spirit, it doesn't matter the language, and at some point it doesn't even really matter the ethnicity, but it does because it's so mixed right now. But and this I can't say it doesn't. But for the most part, none of these things matter. Every time you come in, you still your same you. So you're able to use anything better. If it was a horse one time, you'll be able to use the horse better. If it's computer now, you'll be able to use the computer better. If it's a different language now, you'll be able to use that language. Whoever is coming, shrinking themselves up, is building mental and physical constructs for the spirits that's always here with God. And so we will be the only ones who know what to do with it. So look at it like this, right? If we in a black and white world and you got a bunch of people here from the Mayflower, right? At that time, they didn't need black people in a position of the newspaper and stuff like that, right? As they're doing their practice, so many people is gone, right? Their descendants is mixed. So they have to do what they did in a watered down way, which is assistance. So now we have this updated version, language, and updated version of newspapers, news channels, and stuff like that, right? But it can't be like it used to. So now they need Jasmine Crockett's, Barack Obama's, Donald Trump's, like all these different people from Mayflowers that I guarantee the Bushes kind of look back and be like, yeah, we need to do something a little bit. But at the same time, right, you kind of look at that circumstance, that's what it means. The Mayflower boat people is not enough of them anymore. They all went to hell, I guess. It's not enough of them saying, I'm back and be able to do what us natives do, like me, or able to do what some Amish people doing, or able to do what some Africans doing. The real, not no Africans, like, and let me not say, because I don't agree with nobody doing no negative stuff. But let's say the intellect. If you this black thing, more like, you have to be more like Brother Polite, not his negative actions, his mind. He knew he was lost in the term black, but he understood his phenotype and his blood percentage scale is African. So he was more tapped in to African spirituality. So his intellect was way better than this thing that was made 300 years ago called this new man splice black man and woman. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. So when you see these new people like Dr. Umar, that's a cosplayer. Sanetta's cosplayer. The Tariq Nasheed's cosplayers. They're $5 Africans. They don't have no African spirit though, because they wouldn't be talking the way they're talking. They're practicing white boy, black boy games. So that's, hey, we're taking other people's lands and mentality and culture and doing it for ourselves. So they at a round table studying how to do that, and they fund each other to be able to do that. So they'd be the only ones with the most views, get the most funding for movies. You'll never catch us Native Americans in the government. You'll never catch us being presented to be as philosophers or anything of that nature until we get old and some white person who felt like their forefathers did something negative then want to come talk. This is how they kind of trying to do me right now or whatever the case. But I don't fuck with y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? You need special access to come to my fort. But for the most part, then they got other situations where they're trying to convert people. They have a conversion energy. So they're still what you think you is. They're still who you are and try to be that. They think that they that and then try to carve it back into some white and black God thing. Capitalism and so you have to bow down to their way of thinking and talking about something that they're not doing. Then they be running off like 5 different other cultures to be doing it. They'd be saying they're indigenous with a pilgrim tuxedo on, talking about they some voodoo shit from Africa, and they got the spirit of Genghis Khan, and then they about to do they did all the military hitting upside the heads of people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And now and then you got one side of it crying that they owed some more. Then you got one side of it saying that they got fatigue when people start crying. But it's truly just white and black people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really look at it, if you really see it for what it is, it's something that new creatures is running off of. And white people was made 5,000 years ago, and this new black people was made 300 years ago. So they're made out of a little bit of Arab, white people, a little bit of us Native Americans, people that was put to the Caribbeans as that little psyop engineering Frankenstein thing was going on. So they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They're more of the percentage scale of just mixture. Then some have more the percentage scale of Arab. So these be a lot of people who take Arab names and Hebrew Israelite or Nation of Islam. Some of them take more the phenotype and a percentage scale of the German or the Italian. You know what I'm saying? Some take more the phenotype of the Berber. Some take more of the phenotype of the Jamaican. So you get your Bob Marley, your DJ Academics, right? But these are just truly people already in the system of this new man and woman. They're not more the percentage scale of the indigenous if they're mixed. So they probably are, if they're on the land, they probably around pure people. But then even the mixed people is so diluted that even the ones that's more on a percentage scale may be too far down the line for them. So they're not in their current situation. It's someone claiming another culture but don't speak the language. Someone claiming they're on a land but don't say the same. So even like how y'all see my title ain't in English, but you have to consider Ohio ain't English. Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota not English. Nebraska not English. Cali before the Fornia part on it. That's not English. Manhattan, that's not English. You know what I'm saying? You have to Mississippi, that's not English. You know what I'm saying? Illinois, that's not English, even though that's mixed up a little bit to know about the water route, but it's inland wet. But that's not, these things not English. You see what I'm saying? See, these are Native American. So you know what I'm saying? South Dakota, North Dakota is not English. You know, y'all street names, not English. I'm saying it's just not English. You know what I'm saying? You need your Iroquois. It's a little bit of French and Britain, Spain, man. It's not English either. It's really Native American, just creating this pig gang language before y'all got this updated version called English. That's why a lot of the peace treaties was gibberish. So you have to understand that and things. Once we get a lot of cities, we're just getting a lot of colonists from Polish and alienating stuff. So this is where you start to get Cleveland. So when you get Cleveland Indians, it's just the pilgrim trying to be the god over the Erie Native Americans and stuff like that, and the Lenape tribes and shit. You have to understand it. But for the most part, y'all get these colonized words and the 5 civilized tribes words and think you're talking about something. You know, you'll be talking about anything. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking about nothing that's floating through somebody's blood. And Native Americans don't even call themselves Native Americans. It's these terms that's English to talk to y'all. And then y'all take it and be it and then think you're talking to us. And then it get weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Alabama. That's not, these words mean things. They're y'all don't have the punctuations in them. So y'all think these is put in an English frame the way it's written out, but it's truly not that in our frame of thought. Y'all need punctuations and stuff. Each thing means something in its pocket. Allah, that's something on its own. Baba, that's something on its own. And things of that nature. So you have to understand that. That means river flow on bumpy grounds. River flow, if you want to transmute it in English, river flow on bumpy grounds. You know what I'm saying? Kentucky is just the same as Kukuski, right? The water that, the land that moves on water. It says it mean land that moves on water and stuff like that. So when you think about the Great Basin, you're talking about the drainage pockets to each river flow and ocean. And it goes through the Great Lakes to the Great Plains. And then the root chakra to all the Native Americans where we birth from is South and Central America. And every continent has a root chakra where the phenotype start to emanate, the sweet hot spot. And then we spread out, and we do that over thousands of years before we contact with any other phenotype made out of a different atmosphere that condensed to become sun, air, water, and land mass. And then y'all asses come up out of that motherfucker atmosphere. We only shapes within the atmosphere. We're all stars in the atmosphere. So when we say the sun, moon, and the stars mean the people. And the ideas on a micro scale. So everybody's sun on a micro scale is your wind in the atmosphere. That's the star. Your idea, it's the star. And then you make your body that you're in. The 5-pointed being. Your head, left, right hand, left, right foot. That's the only thing you're going to see that you emanated from your mind as a mathematical precision, and it condensed and became the physical mathematic precision. And then for the most part, you are in the atmosphere. So you have your star, mind, and your physical representation of it, you being, your body. You can make another, as a spirit, you can make another mind mathematic and come down and be another form, a fish, a shark. But that's what we're doing. We're making organs. You just so lost in English and the meaning behind it. You don't have an indigenous phenotype and blood that make your eyeballs and your brain calculate things in its natural way. That's the psychology of it, though. You see what I'm saying? That's the actual psychology. So this where we pull in any type of physiology, anatomy type of science, technology, cameras, phones, computers. We're pulling it from this pocket. But you have to engineer it first. Then you could conduct it. And then you become a conduit. And it'd be like that little psyop cosplayer Melchizedek energy. Replace that with conduit. And you bring that above water, below water, to below water. But we're truly water. Stars is water. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. No, I don't. Flight boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Terry's Mill. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. God damn it. Rock the swag, hold down YAHLAHUÈ. And I don't go no further than that.